So it says using simple interest, how long would it take? Sorry, Simon invested 5,000 to a savings account with an interest of 5% per annum. Fede. So our I is 5% per annum, our P is 5,000. Compounded semi-annually, it grows. The money gains interest after every 6 months, twice a year, semi-annually. How much will Simon have after 6 years? So we just simply apply the compound interest formula because it says compounded. So compounded means we are compelled, we are pushed, we are forced to like use the compound interest formula where our our P is 5,000, our I is 5%. 5% is 0.05. That's 5 divided by 100 over. Then our interest there 0.05 over. We put a 2 there because that's the interest with which it grows every 6 months. N represents the number of times this thing grows. So in a year, you've got two periods of 6 months, so you're going to put 2 there. Okay, some of you, as I said before, might have used this formula. That's still fine. 5,000 is my P. 1 plus the I is 5%, that's 0.05. 5% is just same as 5 over 100, which is 0.05. Divide by M is our 2. Then we still put the M there. 2 times N is a number of years, 6. Okay, here in a year, it grows twice in 6 years. It's going to be 12, so it's going to be 2 times 6. Sorry about that. This will give you an answer of 5,000. 1 plus 0.025 to the power 12. This gives us 6,724.44. Okay, all of you got that. That's proper. I'm super proud of you. Any questions? Any gray areas? No questions. Okay, we move now to the next one. First things first, you guys need to understand what a constant is. A constant is just a number. 1 is a constant, 2 is a constant, minus 11 is a constant. So a constant is a number, x is a variable, y is a variable, a is a variable, b is a variable, z is a variable, while numbers are referred to as constants, especially in like algebraic expressions. For example, y equals mx plus c. Ne? The equation of a straight line, y equals an example 2x minus 1. So this is a variable. This is a constant. This is also constant or the coefficient of x. So you need to be careful there. This is also a variable. Sharp, sharp. Let's attack this question. Given a equals p1 plus in close bracket. So this is clearly, or it looks like the formula for simple interest, where p and I are positive constants. So p is a number. So let's just say it is 2. I'll rewrite this thing. They tell us P and I are positive constants. So let's just say our A is 2, our I is maybe 3. Ne? We have something like this. I'm just making this thing easy. Okay, so this is the original expression that they're referring to, but we're just gonna sort of have this on the side as a reference point. First question says state whether A, this, as a function of n is linear, quadratic, exponential, or none of these. So if you have something like this, f of x equals 2x plus 1, which is the same as y equals 2x plus 1. Ne? How to say this sentence mathematics to say that f is a function of x. That's what it is. So this is your f is like your y, function of x. If you have something like this, g of z equals 5z minus 2, then you'll say g is a function of z. You guys see, you guys get the language. So f is a function of x, or y is a function of x here. G is the function of z, meaning that our this is our y and this is our x. We go back. State whether a as a function of n is linear, quadratic, exponential, or none of these. So now they're asking you, is this a linear function, or quadratic, or exponential, or none of these? Let us simplify this. Let us simplify this and see what happens. I'm going to go p times a gives me p. And then I'm going to go p times that gives me plus p I n. So let's just rewrite it and start with p I n plus p. Ne? So this is our expression. Let us also simplify this using our example. our point of reference. 2 times 1 gives us 2 plus 2 times 3n gives us 6n. So this is just a equals 6n plus 2. Is this a linear function, a quadratic function, or exponential function? Linear, yeah? Yes. It looks like it's in the form, or actually it is in the form y equals mx plus c, where our gradient is 6, our constant is 2. Similarly, here, this is a number, very constant. These are constants, so this is a number. Could be 6, could be 7, could be whatever. And this is also a number, so this is linear. Delicious, absolutely delicious. Okay, then they say draw a positable graph of a as a function of n in your answer book. So now I just want to touch on this thing again. This thing can also be rewritten as maybe a of n equals 6n plus 2. If you like, f of x equals 6x plus 2. I want you guys to sort of look at it that way. It's the same type of thing. Okay, sharp. So, Barry, draw a possible graph of a as a function of n in your answer book. So, how would the graph like more or less look like? It'll look like this. Okay, this will always be a positive number. Look at this. This will always be a positive number. Why? Because Angisho, this thing is created by multiplying this by this, ne? To get that, or in this context, this by this, you get this thing. This is the y-cut. Now, the y-cut is the point at which your graph crosses the y-axis. Now, since they emphasized that p is positive, it tells you your graph, your straight line will be something like that. It's gonna cross in a positive area like this. Are we together? Again, it's gonna be positive like that. And then another thing is that this, when you multiply this ne and that ne, you're gonna get this thing's gonna be positive. So your gradient will always be positive. So that means your graph won't be downward sloping, but it'll be upward sloping. So therefore, that's why you're gonna get a graph that is like that. Again, yavakala madoda. Yes. And then now, since your x is like n basically, ne, and then and this is the simple interest formula. Yes. Since your n is basically the x's, ne, or the x, right? And then you know that you're dealing with such a function like a simple interest sort of function or sort of equation. You know what your n can't be negative. You can't say, oh, I invested 5,000 for negative n years. No, it's always positive. So your graph would possibly start there. Instead of going to the negative side, negative n, it'll start there and it'll just grow like that. Like, yes. Are we together? Delicious, ne? Proper stuff. Yes, yes. This is tasty. Some tasty stuff right there. Hey? If n increases by let's do this. Sorry about that. Let me try to move. See if I can't move. Yes, move. I can't move it. Oh God. Yes. I'm trying to reduce the size there and remove that. Yes. Okay. Now I can see the question. It says if n increases by 1, determine the increase in a. Okay. But if n increase by 1, determine the increase by a. You guys remember simple interest, or if you invest a fake example, ne? If you invest 5,000 money, or let's just say 100 rand, let's use a better color, a brighter one. If you invest 100 rands there, ne? And then this is at the end of the first year, the end of the second year, and they tell you that the interest is 5% per annum. So you wanna withdraw it after 2 years. That means after the first year, your 100 rands will gain interest, and 5% of 100 rands is 5 rands, right? So that means your balance would be 105 at the end of the first year. Are we together? Simple interest. Then, if you keep the 105 again for another year, it will still gain 5 rands. Under simple interest, you gain the same amount every year. So your balance would be 110. Again. So do you guys see that if I'm here, ne, at time 1, and then my n increased by 1, Let me show you. Let me show you. You're here. You're calculating what happens at 100 until you get there. It is 100, 1 plus simple interest formula. 5% times 1. This will give you 105. Then that's your balance there. Now you want to add 1 here. You go plus 1, which is exactly what they're saying. Increase by 1, n increase by 1, n increase by 1. If you increase by 1, this thing by 1, it means that you will get this will give you 1 1 10 1 1 0, sorry. This is the balance there. So you see when you add a 1 there, this thing just increases by the interest per annum. That's what it basically means. If you add up another 1 here and have a 3, that means this thing will further increase by 5 rands for another additional year. So therefore, if you increase the n, by 1, determine the increase in A. The increase in A would just be I, which is the interest, 5. Are we together? So therefore, the increase would be I, if you want to put it in terms of percentages, but I want to put it in terms of, yeah, that's about that. It's just I. The interest, 5%, whatever it is. Is that clear to everybody?